Attention bowlers, we are going to get started. Please finish your warm-up frames. We will be changing to scoring in just a moment. Welcome to Boutwell's Bowling Center in Concord, New Hampshire for an exciting Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour match in Class E North here in the capital of New Hampshire. Hi, I'm Steve Kelly. Are you ready for some Candlepin bowling? I sure am, and we have two bowlers who are certainly willing to oblige as well. It's going to be Chase Abramczyk and Marc Poirier battling it out to see who has the balls to take more points against one another in this match today. And we'll be starting in just a couple of moments. The match format is 5 strings with 14 points on offer. And it's 2 points per string and 4 for total pinfall. And if there's any ties, we divide right in half. So we'll be starting in just a little bit here. Marc Poirier today is our away bowler who comes to us from Boutwell's Bowling Center. Both bowlers are actually from Boutwell's, so it's just a away at home kind of situation. Today it's Marc Poirier with a season record of 128-82. What a heck of a playoff berth that Marc Poirier has been constructing all season with 15 matches of 18. So he comes into this match fairly comfortable for the playoff aspirations, but you still have a challenger in the regular season, and it's Chase Abramczyk, who will be our challenger today for defending the house, actually, as the home bowler against Marc Poirier. So Chase Abramczyk with a season record of 49 out of 91, 49 wins, 91 losses with 10 of 18 matches in the regular season, so he still has a bit of a hill to climb, but we'll see what happens here. But anyways, let's swing it back to the bowling, where we're going to begin with Marc Poirier immediately. And there's Marc Poirier with the opening ball, the opening ceremonies. He'll take 3 down. Marc Poirier, who averages at home at Boutwell's Bowling Center 97.10. And he looks to spare up that 3 drop at the beginning, and it becomes 3 pins remaining, 2-5-10. Here comes Marc Poirier with the 3rd ball, and with a nice 10 to clean things up. Side walls are bouncy and hot right now. That's 10 after 1 for Marc Poirier. Even Marc Poirier was commenting. He was like, I don't know what was going on with that. But it happens. Marc Poirier's away record is 58-40. Marc Poirier's home record is 70-42. He has a season average of 95.8, an away average of 94.5. High single, 150. High series, 600. And here's Marc Poirier with another 3 drop on the opposite side. Always enjoy some symmetry across 2 boxes on the first ball. 3 drop in the first, 3 drop in the second. Marc Poirier hooks that hard, goes right, nearby where the first ball went. No pins knocked down. And Marc Poirier, and he'll take out another. He'll leave a 6-pack on the left side for a 4-box for 14 after 2. Story with Marc Poirier so far. 2 boxes in. Out of 50 boxes we're going to bowl per bowler, 100 boxes for you to observe. And let's continue on. The bowlers will switch every 5 boxes. So Marc Poirier is in box 3 of 5. Then he'll sit. Then Chase Abramczyk will be up next. And that's a 4 drop for Marc Poirier. Connected to the left of the head pin. He went left, right, left on the first ball. He hooks, and he connects. He takes them all for a spare. Very well done by Marc. That hooking ball just took a practice box to figure things out, but it was all constructed well in that shot. See, that was a powerful hit right on the pocket, full enough to take the bundle out. He's at 24 in a bonus after 3. Poirier, he fires. And he's going to knock down 7. A spare with a 7 fill. That puts him at 31 after 3. Oh, 6, excuse me. Thank you, John Cadero, for being better eyes than mine to the left of me. Marc Poirier just to the left, to the right of the head pin, leaves the pin to the left of the target, which is the head pin conveniently, which is the only pin left for 1 to go. And nearly a 10 as the ball comes back. He'll make it a 9 for 39 after 4. When it comes to sleeper pins at Boutwell's Bowling Center, the masking unit is actually quite lower than a lot of other houses, so it can be a little bit difficult to get some sleeper pins sometimes. But again, I didn't mention this is broadcast, but the scoreboard you see on your screen is unofficial. That is mine that I'm maintaining separately, effectively as a spectator. And any flicks, the bowlers win when it comes to that. There's an 8 drop and a split for Marc Poirier. He leaves the 7 and the 10. With a piece of wood, 2 pieces of wood to the right of the 7 and the 10. He's going to have to spin that interestingly. Oh, and he almost does. Oh, he went right. He got the pin to the right and bounced over to the left and almost took the stick. But the keyword was almost, and he stays on for a 10. Well done by Marc Poirier. So he started out a little rocky in this half, but he kind of salvaged it and stabilized it for 49 after 5. A spare with a 6 fill, 2 10s, a 9 and a 4. With 1 head pin shot for 5 with 1 split. That's the story for Marc Poirier, 5 boxes in. And now it's Chase Abramczyk's turn to show up for the first time here at Boutwell's Bowling Center in this match today. And here he is, Chase Abramczyk. On lane 20, both bowlers starting on the right lane today. Then they'll swap over to the other lane for their other 5 boxes as Chase Abramczyk crosses over to the 1-2 pocket and takes out 7. That's the 6, the 9, and the 10. Abramczyk on the object, but the triangle is a little bit difficult to defeat. The 9 pin stood resilient. Abramczyk takes it for a 10, pinning it out. 10 after 1 for Chase. Abramczyk with a season record, like I said, of 49 and 91, 10 matches played of 18. This is his 11th match. On the road, Chase Abramczyk is 28 and 56. At home at Boutwell's Bowling Center, he is 21 and 35 with a season average of 92.4, an away average of 93.8, a home average of 90.5, a high single 130, high series 516. And Chase Abramczyk will take a strike in the second frame. Well done by Chase. Goes all over it. Let's watch the shot again, shall we? And it was fast. Chase's ball, when it is on it, it is definitive as he throws this forceful, hard ball right onto the 1-3 pocket, buries it, and takes the 4-pin last. Chase for the double strike. He's on the pocket again. Another great ball, just mixed a little bit differently. He drops 8 so far. It's the 4 and the 6 with wood. This will be interesting, to say the least. It's away, and he wanted to connect the wood to the 4 and bounce the ball to the right to the 6, but didn't quite happen. That'll be an 8 fill on the strike, 28 after 2. Chase will go into the center for an 8 box. That's 36 after 3 for Chase. Taking an early advantage of 6 in the third frame, 30 to 36. So Marc Poirier, Chase Abramczyk respectively. Chase Abramczyk 100% on the head pin so far this game and this match. 3 for 3, 1 split. Chase on the pocket again, and will he do it again? He almost did. He moved the 5. He touched all 10. Chase Abramczyk with the kingpin and a piece of wood. Diagonal to it in a favorable position. He's thrown a lot of balls towards the center. Chase fires on it, and it's gone. See ya. Single pin spare for Chase Abramczyk. That's a well-executed shot. Just had to get onto the guiding wood pretty much from almost any angle. Maybe just not too low, but he was right all over it. He hit it high. And he's working on a mark, his second of the half. Chase crosses over a little bit too much. He'll take a 4 fill. That's a 6-pack right side. The 6-pack brought to you by the bar at Boutwell's Bowling Center. Great food that you can order from next door at Sabrin Pizza that they'll bring over to you, and great taps, great beers, great popcorn, great everything at the bar at Boutwell's Bowling Center as Chase Abramczyk takes 3 of 3 on the 6-pack. 1-3-5. Almost pinning it out, leaves 1, an honorable attempt. And that's a heck of a half by Chase Abramczyk to open up with a 59 with a strike and an 8 fill, a spare and a 4 fill, a 10, then a 9 and an 8 box. 59 after 5 for Chase Abramczyk, who went 4 for 5 in the head pin with 1 split. Marc Poirier, 1 head pin shot, 1 split with a 49 half. As we enter the third quarter of the first game here on the ACST in Boutwell's Bowling Center at Concord, New Hampshire. I'm Steve Kelly on the call. Great to have you along with us on this Wednesday early evening. Here's Marc Poirier wasting no time throwing that ball. Didn't hit the head pin. He almost got a strike off of it. He'll drop 9. One heck of a mix. He's actually got pins still figuring it out down there. They might be in play. They might not. And it looks like they might be in play. John Cadero seems to certainly think so. But we're going to call him down for a judgment call. I think they might be in, but we'll find out. There's multiple pieces of lumber close to the line, but I have a feeling they're in. Something tells me he'll be turning right around, and yes, he will be. John Cadero, also an ACST bowler and works at Boutwell's Bowling Center. No stranger to checking out pins that are in or out. So the official pin check sponsored by John Cadero. And for the spare, Marc Poirier is all over it for the spare. See, that wood was helpful. Why are you worrying, Marc? That's 59 and a bonus after 6. You want to see that again? He helicopters it. It was a beautiful shot. Very elegantly thrown. Off of the right side, near the cap of the wood, and he took it. Marc Poirier is working on a mark, his second of the game. And he's on the 3-6 pocket. He'll mix down 6, and he'll fill with 6. Poirier for the spare shot, just misses the object, sails to the rear, takes the sleeper on the right. He's got 3 pins remaining, the 1, the 2, and the 5. For the 10 box, he'll leave the 5 for a 9 on the pocket, but danced around for 74 after 7. Marc Poirier with 29 strikes, 102 spares, and 128 tens has a perfect box percentage of 30 this season in Class E North Division 4. Bowls out of Boutwell's Bowling Center. He has 7,191 seasonal pinfall so far. Second place in his division, second place in the wild card seed as he drops 3 here. 6-pack on the right side along with the 7-pin. Poirier, oh, and he wanted to go for the head pin on the outside. A nice strategy, but he missed the target. And he'll do it again, unfortunately. That'll be a bit of a costly 3-box for Marc Poirier for 77 through 8. Marc, head pin, drops 3. It's a spread eagle with a talon. The follow-up takes the 4, takes 1 of the 3 side, leaves the 4 and the 7. Now that's a shot where I probably would have shot at the 3 on the left rather than the 4 on the right. Shoot at the smaller amount to take the bigger amount. But it's really bowler's comfort level in terms of deciding that. 4 and the 7 for Marc Poirier, looking for a 10. He'll take an 8. He's at 85 through 9. Marc Poirier in his past 5 matches has taken 40 points, averaging 8 points per match. That's a winning record each match this season. In his past 5 matches, he's totaled 2,452 pins in seasonal pinfall. His longest streak of strings over 100 this season has been 4 in a row. Longest winning streak of more than 7 points has been 4 in a row in terms of matches. And there's a strike by Marc Poirier, wrapping that box up real fast in the 10th. He's at 95 and a bonus. He is working on getting over 100, and he's well on his way to do so. We'll be going into overtime here with two balls for the bonus on the fill on the strike. Marc Poirier. Too far on the fill. And then there's a great capstone to that game for a 7 fill for 102 in the first game for Marc Poirier. A 3 mark 102 with a strike and a 7 fill, a spare and a 6 fill, and another spare and a 6 fill with 2 extra 10 boxes. The rest were open frames. He went 3 for 10 on the head pin with 2 splits. 102 is the story for Marc Poirier. Let's see what Chase Abramczyk can do with a 59 half. Here is Chase. On the headpin, a little full. The ball tailed towards the end, went too much into the center. He drops 6 and splits 2 on each side. 4, 6, 7, 10. Wood across the 6, 10. And he'll bean the wood on the 6 and the 10. More than one plank, actually. And he'll leave the 4 and the 7. Not a bad way to end the box on a split like that. Similar to a spread eagle, just minus 2 extra pins. Chase will make that a 10 box in the 6th. At 69 after 6, he is on the hunt for Marc Poirier's 65 after 6, up by 4 at this point. Chase narrowly missing the pocket. 6 go down. That's the 1, 3, 6, 10. And he's on the 3. He's on the 3 hard. To pin it out, it becomes a 7 box for 76 in 7 for Chase Abramczyk, who has 14 strikes, 59 spares, and 81 tens for the season. 30% perfect box percentage, 4,623 seasonal pinfall thus far, with a 3rd place division rank and 9th in the wildcard seed for Chase Abramczyk, who is at 49 and 91 with 10 matches played of 18. Here's Chase. 4-7 pocket. Or maybe the 2-4 pocket. It was off to the left of the head pin. He'll drop 6. 1, 3, 8, 9. For the spare, he's on the object, but the wood collided in an interesting way, and it was a bit of a light hit. Leaves the 9 and the 10 with 3 planks of wood. Finishes it off with a pretty 10 box for Chase Abramczyk, 86 after 8. The winner of this string takes 2 points. If they tie, it's 1 point. Chase Abramczyk currently at 86 through the 8th frame. Marc Poirier was at 77 by the 8th frame. 2 boxes to go. Chase Abramczyk has an opportunity to get past 102 without any marks, but he has to score high on the open frames. That's a 5 drop so far. Full on the pocket, but yet not full enough. He leaves the 5 and the 8. And a 10 box for Chase. That's a nice way to pin it out. He's at 96 through 9, and he's ever closer to taking 2 points in the first. Chase Abramczyk has, wow, he's got quite a heck of a perfect box situation going on. He's got a lot of 10 boxes this game and 2 marks. And his worst box has been 8. He'll take 2 here. 4-7 taken out. 4 pins to tie, 4 more pins to tie, and 5 to win. And Chase nearly marks it up. Now it's an 8 box, and then he'll have 1 more ball to go. But he will take the first game confirmed with that ball. Making it a 9. He's at 105. A win is a win, and Chase Abramczyk has earned himself 2 points in the first. Winning by 3, Chase Abramczyk 105, Marc Poirier 102. Chase Abramczyk with 2 marks, Marc Poirier with 3. But Chase Abramczyk had more 10s and just an overall higher pinning. That 3 box from Marc Poirier was likely kind of the decision point when it came to that. But anyways, we're going to be moving on to the next game here on the ACST in just a couple of seconds. Marc Poirier will do the honors. Welcome to game 2. And he'll take 3 out so far. Marc misses the object again on the second ball, leaves the 1 and the 3. And it's a pretty 10 box for Marc Poirier. Way to pin it out. 10 after 1. Marc Poirier average points per away match 8.3. Average points per home match 8.8. A little to the right of the head pin there. 5 go down. Misses the mark on the second box. Second ball, that is. Target missed to the left. Marc Poirier throws with his left hand. Hooks in there. Oh, but the wall of defense of 2 pins. Shield the back 3 pins. That'll be a 7 box. And 17 after 2 for Marc Poirier. In the first game, Marc Poirier went 5 for 10 on the head pin. Chase Abramczyk went 3 for 10 on the head pin. Marc is off to the left, but he gets a mix in the back row to take out 6. 1, 2, 6, 10. 2 left, 2 right. And what a spare by Marc Poirier. That's how you get him. That's what we like to see. The 1, 2, 6, 10 with a lot of wood in between the gap. Marc Poirier hooked right into that. It was there for the taking, and he went right on the 1-2 pocket. And he'll take 5. You like jazz? A nice 5 fill. 1, 2, 4, 7, and 8. Marc will chop a couple out. It's the 1, 2, 4 remaining. And the result of the play is an 8 box in the 4th for 40. Marc Poirier in his past 5 matches, he has 19 strikes, 45 spares, and 54 tens. He's gone 8 matches without 10+ points, but he's still racking up the wins regardless. And Marc is off to the head pin, not on the head pin, off to the right, takes 6 out again. Second time this game. 1, 2, 8, 9. Takes the 2 and the 9, leaves the 1 and the 8. And it'll become a 9 box as he collides with the head pin. Marc Poirier with a 49.5. With 1 mark, 1 10 box, 3 open frames. 102 in the first game, 49 in progress for the second game for Marc Poirier. Now it's time for Chase Abramczyk to start out his journey in the second game here on the ACST in Concord, New Hampshire at Boutwell's Bowling Center. And we're back as Chase Abramczyk. He'll cross over onto the 1-2 pocket and lightly mix down 8. The 5 and the 10 are there. Chase. Oh, he almost got it. A nice attempt on the 5 pin to the left. And that will be a fouled off 9 as he waves it off. Great sportsmanship by Chase Abramczyk. That's 9 after 1. Chase Abramczyk in his past 5 matches, he's taken 20 points, averaging 4 points per match. Past 5 matches totaling 25-33 in grand total pinfall. Longest streak of strings over 100 has been 2 in a row this season. He'll chop 2 there, left side half Worcester. One 3 pocket, almost spares it. Piece of wood is not going to take the 7. Just waiting for that wood to settle. It's very active. It's going to settle around the lip where the wood meets the plate. Where the lumber meets the plate. And Abramczyk with a nice 10 box to pin it out for 19 after 2. Chase Abramczyk, and he averages 4.7 points per away match and 5.3 points per home match. 12 strikes in his past 5 matches, 45 spares in his past 5 matches, 50 tens in his past 5 matches. Head pin shot and pocket shot there. Crossover ball leaves the 6, the 9, and the 10. A 6 triangle, you might call it. Chase versus the triangle. He'll miss the object this time. Previously on this shot, he was right on it, but he took the 6 and the 9 and left the 10. This time it's the 6 and the 10. He'll make it a 9 box for 28 after 3. On average, Chase Abramczyk gets 15 head pin shots per match and 7.1 splits per match on average. Here we go. Chase to the left of the head pin, drop 6. Bounced it a little bit. I know that bounce. I've done it myself. It means you either release a little bit early or on the foul line, one of the two. It usually means the ball is going to go into interesting places. And Chase will take the 6 and the 3 out, leaving the 1 and the 8. Chase for the 10. It'll be an 8. He's at 36 after 4. Marc Poirier's at 40 after 4. A difference of 4 in Marc Poirier's favor in this game so far. A difference of 10 in the total at this uneven point in the match. Marc Poirier up by 10. Chase Abramczyk can tie it with a 10 box, keeping the total well within reach. Chase bounces again. Again, having some trouble with that release there. Much better ball, though. He'll drop 7. 1, 2, 4. Chase going for the spare. He takes the 1. He takes the 4. He takes the 2. A seat of your pants spare by Chase Abramczyk. That is certainly one way to get it. That's 46 and a bonus after 5 for Chase. Both bowlers with a mark on the board in the first half. Marc Poirier 49, Chase Abramczyk 46, and pending whatever fill he ends up getting when he comes back. But we'll say hello to Marc Poirier first. We're on the ACST when we come back in just a couple of seconds. Did you miss us? We're back. Marc Poirier will drop 6. Poirier for the spare. He misses the object, takes a sleeper. 1, 2, and 8. And it's a 7 for Marc Poirier. That's 56 and 6. While we have a moment, let's watch that spare shot by Chase Abramczyk again while we have a quick second. Watch the way this goes. He hit the 1, took the 4, and spins and takes the 2. That was a great one by Chase. Poirier, head pin. Oh, yeah. It's gone. An evaporation by Marc Poirier for a strike. Definitive is what I'd call that shot. To put it into words, because the Pins had no words to say after the ball hit. Marc Poirier is working on a strike. Head pin shot, 1-3 pocket, powerful hit, 2-4-5. 7 drop. Takes one more out for an 8 fill on the strike. 74 and 7. And Marc Poirier will make that a 9. That's 83 through 8. As he chuckles to himself. What more can I tell you about Marc Poirier? He's had one shutout victory this match. That's when you go 14-0. His longest streak of matches in a row with 10 points or more has been 4 in a row this season. Headpin average 17.9 for 50, split average 7.9 for Marc Poirier. And he's on the 1-3 pocket. He's going to mix down at least 8. 2-4, two slightly slides. He drops 8 so far. And he spares it up, Marc Poirier. That was a quick spare by Marc Poirier. Seems when he gets into a rhythm, he starts bowling fast. And at the moment, that's working for him. That's 93 and a bonus through 9. Pocket shot again. Marc Poirier drops 8, 5-6. 8 fill. Poirier, oh yeah, he'll kick right. He'll sweep right for a sweepy spare. Call the janitor. That's 111 and a bonus in the 10th for Mr. Marc Poirier. That 5-6 leave, beautiful. He's at 1 and a bonus, yes. Just double checking. Oh, and he'll throw a little bit off target. It's going to be a 1 fill for Marc Poirier. The results of the second game for Marc Poirier, his wall of defense. A 4-mark 112 and a 214 two-game total for Marc Poirier. That's the benchmark for Chase Abramczyk to reach with a 46.5 plus a fill. See if we can get that replay in shortly for Marc Poirier's last mark, assuming Chase Abramczyk doesn't throw another heck of a bomb here. When the strikes go, they've been going on these pairs, this lane pair. Here's Chase. Off to the left, mixes down 7. And he'll fill with 7. That's a nice fill. .53 after 5. 112 is confirmed for Marc Poirier. Chase on the outside of the head pin, but the head pin dances around a little bit. He was on the 3 and the 6. He's got the 3 and the 6 to shoot at, 8, 9, or 10. It'll be a 9. That's 62 through 6 for Chase Abramczyk. All right, back to Marc Poirier's spare, which he didn't have an extra second to show. Watch this sweep on the 5 and the 6. A beautiful shot to the right. If he had filled with more than 1, it would have been a much higher game, but still 112 is nothing to shake a stick at for Marc Poirier. Here's Chase Abramczyk on lane 19. And Chase will mix down 5. It was almost a 6-pack. Still won the 5, the 3, the 6, and the 10. Abramczyk for the spare. Off to the right to the head pin, and he'll mix pins in the middle and leave the 1 and the 10. 8, 9, or 10 for Chase Abramczyk. It's going to be a 9 box for 71 through 7. Marc Poirier is at 74 through 7 after that strike in the 8 fill. Chase Abramczyk took the first game, 105 to Marc Poirier's 102. And he's on track, at least on pace to get to at least triple digits this game. He's going to need some marks to catch up to Marc Poirier. Chase, he'll well, get a much better mix than what I thought was going to happen. He'll drop 3 in the left and the right corners, a 6 drop, and the center triangle to shoot at. Center diamond, excuse me. 1, 5, 2, 3. Chase just narrowly off the object, takes 2 and leaves 2, takes half of the diamond. Chase will pin it out for a 10. That's 8 through 8. Chase Abramczyk has 2 pinfall wins this season. His past 5 away matches, he's taken 26 points, averaging 5.2 points per match. At home, totaling 21, averaging 4.2 per match. He has the 9th highest Class E average at 92.4. Chase on the 1-2 pocket, nearly strikes it up. It's going to be... You are kidding me. Pin got touched in multiple ways. Didn't go. Okay, it's a 9-drop. I was getting ready to call that a strike. Took all my might to back off from that. Chase Abramczyk on the 4 with Wood across it. See ya. That's a spare on the single by Chase Abramczyk. He's at 91 and a bonus through 9. Perpendicular shot. The T shape. It was the broadside of a barn, and Chase Abramczyk found it. Chase on 19, working on a spare in the 9th. Bounces a little, might get an okay mix. He'll drop 5. Poirier on the right side. It's a makeable shot. Bob Poirier of Lexington, Massachusetts, the shot is named after. 2 different versions of the shot on the left and the right side. And Chase is a little bit off, leaves the head pin. Nice attempt. That will be game 2 for Marc Poirier, so it's 2 points apiece so far. Nice 10 box to pin it out for Chase. He'll still be over 100 with a 106 game 2. That evens things out score-wise. Chase Abramczyk with 2 points, Marc Poirier with 2 points. 112, Marc Poirier, Chase Abramczyk 106, a difference of 6 in the second game. Difference of 3 in the grand total pinfall. Marc Poirier currently at 214, Chase Abramczyk at 211. Moving on to game 3 here on the ACST. Wasting no time, Marc Poirier will be up next. We're back, it's game 3. Here's Marc Poirier on the 1-3 pocket. 7-10 split with 2 pieces of wood. Now that wood. Probably cap the right side. Or sorry, cap the left side of the right wood. I guess. Marc Poirier will try it. He hit it a little bit low. And it's going to be an 8. Start game 3. Marc Poirier has the 6th highest Class E average at 95.8. The number 1 Class E high single at 150. The number 1 Class E high series at 600. 1-2 pocket, drops 9. And the 6 pin is down there for the taking. Oh, and he missed it off to the right. Rushed it a little bit. There was the ball. If the third ball was the second ball. 10 for Poirier, 18 after 2. Marc Poirier has the number 1 Class E total strikes with 29 for the season. Number 2 Class E total spares at 102. The number 8 Class E average spare fill at 51. Or 5.1, excuse me. Not 51, that would make no sense. And another 9 drop for Marc Poirier. It's the 7 pin this time. Oh, and he's all over it that time. That was a missile, and that was pretty. That's a spare for Marc Poirier. That's 28 and a bonus after 3. Watch this. Great shot. Great control on that. Right down the left edge. Poirier a little bit thick on the head pin, but he's getting a good mix out of it. That'll be a 7 fill. 2-8-10. Cap the wood. That was an interesting idea, but it'll leave the object pin. That'll be a 9. 44 after 4 for Mr. Poirier. Marc has the 5th highest Class E perfect box percentage at 30%, the number 1 Class E total tens at 128, and the number 8 Class E fewest average pins left at 72.1. He'll take a 3-drop here. Ooh, and the second ball is on the object, but it kind of phases through the middle row. He's got an inverted check mark left, 2, 4, 5, 7. Poirier trying to pin it out. He'll take 1 of 4 for a 7 box. Still not a bad half. 51 after 5 is what Marc Poirier clocks in with a halftime total of 265. 102, 112, and a 51 half in the third game. We're back at Boutwell's Bowling Center, and it's Chase Abramczyk opening up the third game. It'll mix down 7. 1-3-7 for Chase. That piece of wood is in a restful state and in a fairly decent spot, but it is still kind of figuring it out. May or may not be relevant to the shot. And it was not. Who needs the wood? Chase Abramczyk checks in with a spare. And in fact, let's get you a queued up replay of that. The 1-3-7, he didn't play the wood. He was just right on the outside of the head pin, and it was a beautiful shot by Chase. Let's hope for a good spare on this now. Oh, and well, it was a good attempt. Half Worcester right side, 2 drop, 2 punch, 12 after 1. And on the outside of the head pin, exactly where you want to put the ball, it becomes a cluster of 5 on the left. 2 diamond in the 7. Ooh, and Chase will have an out of 7 for 19 after 2. Just clearing the wood there because that piece of wood flew, or that pin flew forward. Chase Abramczyk has the 5th highest Class E high single at 130 compared to Marc Poirier's 150. Chase Abramczyk has the 6th highest Class E total strikes at 14, the 6th highest Class E high series at 516, the 9th highest Class E perfect box percentage at 30. And the 10th highest Class E total tens at 81. Chase will poke the 4 on the first ball of the third frame. Chase Abramczyk recently faced Chris Salmons in round 4, taking 2 points with a 492 series. Chase on the spare shot follow-up leaves the 1-2-10. Looking for an out here. It'll be a 7 for Chase. That's 26 after 3 for Mr. Abramczyk. In that match against Chris Salmons, Chase Abramczyk threw an 87, 130, 97, 86, and 92 with no strikes, 10 spares, 7 tens. He's at 2 in a row for his longest winning streak of more than 7 points per match so far this season. 1-2 pocket for Chase. 7 drop again. 5-7-9. Chase, oh, I thought it was going to be a pretty one. I thought the 7 was going to go based off of the angle of that ball, but the 7 pin is all that's left. It was on the object. It just was a game of angles. And Chase will make it a 9. That's 35 after 4. Chase with 35 after 4, Marc Poirier 44 after 4. And Chase will chop 2 on the left side this time, a half Worcester on the left side. Half Worcesters when you punch out the 2 and the 8 or the 3 and the 9. You're looking at the 2 and the 8 punch out version of the half Worcester. And he's on the pocket, but it kind of delivers weirdly. 4, 6, 10. Messenger pins just kind of flying to the front. Chase chooses the pins, a wise decision. He'll take an 8 box for 43 after 5. In this half, at halftime, in this half of this match, the only half of this match, is 265 for Marc Poirier and 254 for Chase Abramczyk. Marc Poirier with a 102, 112, and a 51 in progress, third game. Chase Abramczyk with a 105, a 106, and a 43 in progress, third game. And Marc Poirier, I keep forgetting he's a fast bowler and he starts quickly. He'll drop 7. 2, 4, 7. And almost spares it. He was on the object, but misses the 7. To follow up with a 10, he'll make it a 9. That's 60 and 6 for Marc Poirier. Each bowler took 2 points in the first and second game, respectively, trading blows. Chase took the first game. Marc took the second one. This game is up in the air. It'll be more than a 6-pack drop. Oh, and an unexpected 8 drop for Marc Poirier. He leads the 1 and the 2. Nowhere near the head pin, but it didn't seem to matter much. And you know what doesn't matter much? As long as you get the mark, that's what matters. And Marc is all about the marks. That's 70 in a bonus through 7 for Marc Poirier. Second ball was right where it needed to be to connect with the pins that didn't go from the first ball, which happened to be the pocket. It'll be Marc Poirier on lane 19. Filling a spare. Ooh, that's a good fill. Wasn't on the head pin, but again, got a good mix out of it almost instantaneously. A 7 fill. 77 through 7. And he'll miss off to the left. One, 3, 9. Oh, and he's just a little off the object. Takes 1 of 3. That'll be an 8 box for 85 through 8 for Marc Poirier. Marc Poirier recently faced Hunter Archambault in round 17. Hunter Archambault is a midseason substitute bowler. In that match, Marc Poirier took 12 points with a 474 series. And there's a 7-10 split for Mr. Marc Poirier. 8 drop. A lot of wood down there. In that match against Hunter Archambault, Marc Poirier threw an 82, a 104, a 93, a 109, and an 86. He had 1 strike, 6 spares, and 8 tens in that match with 19 headpin shots and 7 splits. There's a 9 for Marc Poirier, 94 through 9. Poirier, 2-4 pocket, gets the head pin eventually, so that will be a split credit without a head pin credit. That's a 7, 9, 10. Wood could be tricky. Yep, just like that. Looked favorable for a little bit. 3 pieces of wood in the channel on the left. They'll get stuffed for a 9. So Marc Poirier still over 100 per each game. That means he averages over 100. That's a 103 for a 3-game total of 317. That's Marc Poirier's defense against the home bowler Chase Abramczyk here at Boutwell's Bowling Center. Chase Abramczyk with a 43.5. Let's see what he can cook up. Here's Chase. 1-3 pocket, mixes 7 down, 4, 7, 8. And Chase will spare up that triangle. 53 and a bonus after 6 for Chase Abramczyk. The 4-7-8. Connected on the 4 and the 8 to take the 7, using the sidewall. Chase, oh no. Once again, another half Worcester and a punch out on the left side. 2 fill. That's 55 through 6. Chase on the outside of the head pin. Oh, that was a great ball. Great attempt. And that's still, I always suggest that is exactly how you should attack the half Worcester. On the outside of the head pin, it's a scary place to aim for. But you should always try to go for it if you can. Chase will take an 8 for 83 and 7. We're at Boutwell's Bowling Center today that opened in September 18th, 1976. Slightly different location from the current address. It was known as Boutwell's Bowlamore, and there's still some signage and branding around the current center with that name. Originally 12 lanes, according to an old card that Alex Dellis found. The current location's at 152 North State Street in Concord, New Hampshire, with 24 lanes, 12 on each side. Boutwell's uses manual scoring and manual lane resetting, with CompuScore being the scoring software used. 6 drop and a split for Chase Abramczyk. 3, 5, 9, 10. Into the hole. Boutwell's is currently owned by the Dellis family, Andy, Alex, Dino, and Dimitri. Previously owned by Steve Birch. And previously to that, Dan Murphy. That'll be a 6 box for Chase Abramczyk. 69 through 8. Also notable other folks that you may have recognized from the ACST and Worlds or whatnot from other locations that work here at Boutwell's: John Cadero, Sean Shattuck, and John Alosa. Some other regulars such as Jake Morrill, Steve Rogers, and Nick Brown. Awesome cast of people at Boutwell's Bowling Center. There is a nice 7 drop and a spare leave opportunity for Chase Abramczyk. 3, 6, 10. There's a 9-pin tournament coming up at Boutwell's Bowling Center on Easter Sunday. 9-pin doubles. Do check it out if you feel like bowling on Easter. Chase, oh, he gets slightly deflected off the wood that kind of angled itself. Oops, sorry, I totally showed you the wrong screen there. But the point was he took the 3 and left the 6 and the 10. Ends up being an 8 box for Chase. That's 77 through 9. And we're now at a situation where a double strike and a good fill is needed to take the 3rd game. Could happen. Never say it won't. Here comes Chase Abramczyk. Won't be a strike. This will be the 3rd game for Marc Poirier. That's a 6 drop for Chase Abramczyk. But the total is still up for grabs. I'll go into the right side gutter for Chase Abramczyk. Still a 6 drop. 1, 3, 6, 9. It's going to be an 8. The 3rd game for Chase Abramczyk is 85. Through 3, he's at 296, while Marc Poirier is at 317. Marc Poirier currently with 4 points for 2 games won, and currently ahead in the total by 21. And Poirier took the game by 18. That's the story for Game 3. We're going to be moving on to Game 4 now here on the ACST that you're watching. From Concord, New Hampshire, I'm Steve Kelly on the call. It's great to have you here at Boutwell's. Here's Marc Poirier off to the left of the head pin, but he's going to mix down 5. And Marc will kick some wood, take a few, and leave 2. 1 and the 7. And what a heck of a 10 box. That's a interesting way to get the 10, but it's still no problem. Marc Poirier with 10 after 1. You're watching the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour, Traveling Speed League with 18 regular rounds, 18 regular weeks, 18 regular matches in the regular season, followed by playoffs. It's a road to the playoffs. Very similar to the NFL in terms of like divisions and composition and whatnot, plus or minus a few numbers here and there. 6 drop for Marc Poirier. It's the 1, the 2, the 8, and the 10. And Marc Poirier will take the 2 pins in the front and leave the 2 pins in the back. And Marc Poirier will make that an 8 box for 18 after 2. So like I said, there's a maximum of 14 points available per ACST match. 2 points are awarded to the winner of each game. The bowler whose cumulative total is the highest results in an additional 4 points awarded. The grand total pinfall, as we call it. There's a 2 drop for Marc Poirier on the 6 and the 10. A tie and a string will award each bowler 1 point. Marc Poirier almost sparing that up. A tie and total pinfall results in 2 points per bowler. Example, if you win the first, second, and third strings, lose the fourth and fifth, and win total, you receive 10 points of 14, going 10 and 4. There's a 9 box for Marc Poirier. And that'll put him at 27 after 3. Marc, 1-2 pocket, takes 5 down. Cluster of 5 on the right. He's on the object pin, and the 10 pin doesn't cooperate. It was a good ball, though. I wouldn't have thrown it any differently, honestly. Marc Poirier, the lefty, to cross over to the right. He'll go too much to the right. He'll take a 9 box, second 9 box of the game for 36 after 4. Marc Poirier with a 41% perfect box percentage so far. 2 strikes, 7 spares, 5 tens. 55 pins in total fills, averaging 6.11 per mark. And Marc Poirier on the 1-2 pocket. 6 drop, right side check mark. And does he check the check mark? Oh, that 10 pin. That 10 pin is just not playing ball on this side of the lane. And he'll make it a 9, his third 9 in a row for 45 after 5. That's where Marc Poirier is right now this game. 2 for 5 in the head pin, no splits, 362 in his total. 112, 102, 112, 103, and an in progress 45 here in the 4th. It'll be Chase Abramczyk when we come back here to bowl his first 5 boxes of the 4th game of 5 here on the ACST. Here he is. Chase on the pocket. A nice spare leave of the 6-10 with wood. Chase on lane 20. Oh, just a little bit off to the left of the wood. If you're a righty and you're trying to throw straight on the right side, it can be a little bit daunting, a little bit more difficult than it looks. Oh, and even if you aim right on it, it can still sometimes not go. So that will be 9 after 1 for Chase Abramczyk. Sometimes it's a little bit, I mean, by the numbers it makes no sense, but sometimes it can be a little bit reassuring if your third ball is where you wanted the second ball to go and it still doesn't go. That's what we sometimes say. I guess it wouldn't have gone anyway. The best you can really do in terms of speculation. Chase Abramczyk to the right of the pocket. He'll take 5 down. 1, 7, 10, 2, 9. And Chase will make it a 1-7-10 leave. The high-low jack. The TV shot, except there is wood. The TV shot has no wood. Channel 5 with Don Gillis. And he'll hit the head pin, and the head pin will kind of just dance around. That'll be an 8 box for Chase Abramczyk. That's 17 after 2. Marc Poirier was at 18 after 2. Chase Abramczyk on lane 20. Chase, so full on the head pin, drops 4. That's a spread eagle. Oh yes, everyone's favorite shot, the spread eagle. 3 left and 3 right. Chase goes into the void where the first ball went. Still 4 down. He'll take 2, and that will be a 6 box for Chase. 23 through 3, as Marc Poirier is at 27 through 3. Chase Abramczyk 1-3 pocket, but the sidewalls and the way the pins bounced, would you believe that's a 4 drop? A cluster of 5 on the left and the 10 pin. And Chase will take the cluster of 5 on the left, and the 10 is not touched somehow. Some debris got close, but didn't take it. No messenger on the 10. Abramczyk will make it a 9. That's 32 after 4 for Chase. Chase will mix down what was going to be a 3 drop, turns into a 6 drop. It's the 1-7-10-3. And there's a lot of wood in the middle. May help, may not. 1-3 pocket is your target. Maybe go on the outside of the head pin, maybe go inside. Chase chose the outside, and oddly enough, only the head pin went. And it becomes a 9 for Chase. That's 41 after 5 for Mr. Abramczyk. A difference of 4 in this game. Marc Poirier with an advantage of 4, 45 after 5. Chase Abramczyk 41 after 4. Halfway through the 4th game with a game and a half to go in this match. 362 for Marc Poirier, 337 for Chase Abramczyk. And Marc Poirier will take 6 down on his 7 down on his opening ball. 1-3-10. And to spare, oh, he's on the object and takes only the object. It's going to be a 9 for Marc Poirier, as far as I know. 54 through 6. Yes, okay. Just took a second to reset. Took a moment. I was like, did I get a ball behind? What happened here? But that is a 9 for 54 through 6 for Marc Poirier. He has, my goodness, 4 9 boxes in a row. Poirier will take 2 out on the 4 and the 7. And on the 1-2 pocket, that didn't seem to help a whole lot either. He leaves 5 on the plate. But a nice 10 box to pin that out and break the streak of 9s. He's at 64 through 7. All right, so Marc could use some marks, and he has 3 boxes to do it. And, well, that's an interesting start. Full shot on the head pin. 6 drop and a split. That's the 3-4-7-10 for Marc Poirier. He'll take 2 on the left. He's not throwing really a bad game, honestly. All of his boxes have been 8 or higher. And come on, 10 pin. Kidding me. He tries to dance for it. 73 through 8. Marc Poirier was trying to negotiate that 10 pin down, just like John Cadero once did when he threw a strike on these lanes a while back. Check out 3-Ball Spare on YouTube for a short on that. John Cadero's spare dance. It didn't quite work for Marc Poirier here, though. Oh, and he'll drop one. His first ball is faltering a little bit. Marc Poirier has only hit the head pin 3 times for 8 this game, but only 1 split. He'll overcorrect to the right. He'll leave 5 on the plate. 1, 2, 4, 5, 8. And then there's an 8 box and a good out for Marc Poirier. That puts him at 81 through 9. Still, his worst box has only been 8. Marc Poirier's off to the right of the head pin this time, having some trouble trying to find his center, literally. And he's off to the left of the head pin this time. Correcting right, correcting left. He's at 6 or higher. He'll go sub 100 for this game, and he'll take a 10 box. Again, it's not the worst string in the world, though. He went 8, 9, or 10 for the entire string. So he threw a 91. That is confirmed. 3 10 boxes. 5 9s, and 2 8s. 408 4-game total for Marc Poirier. See what Chase can do in response with a 41.5, 50 to tie, 51 to win. Here is Chase Abramczyk on lane 19. And if he can just break through with a mark pretty much, that should be enough. He'll take 6 down so far and split. Chase, that ball goes into the ocean. And he'll make it a 7. That's 48 after 6 for Chase Abramczyk. Chase Abramczyk, again, 49 and 91 for the season with 10 matches played. This is match 11 for him. Takes 3 out on the left side. And for the spare shot, just a little bit to the right of the head pin. It was close, but he leaves the 1-2-9. For a 10-box opportunity with a 7-box guarantee. And it becomes a 9 for Chase, 57 through 7. Chase on lane 19. Almost on the head pin again, connects with 5 pins. And leaves 5 pins waiting on the plate. It's a Caleri left side, 1, 2, 4, 7, and 9. Connects with a sleeper. 1, 2, 4, 7 remain. It's now a 4-horseman left side shot. 6 box or greater for Chase. Coming up here in the 8th. He'll make it a 7. That's 64 through 8. 2 boxes to go for Chase, trying to get to 91 or higher to take some points. Because if he does, this will be a really interesting match going into the 5th. Really is only going to come down to a mark to catch right back up. Here's the attempt. Here's the mark for Chase Abramczyk. Now it's getting interesting. So that strike reinvigorates his game here. And now the chase is on. No pun intended. As you can see on the 1-3 pocket, that was a beauty of a ball by Chase, and he's been looking for that. Let's see if he can repeat that ball. Chase is slightly to the right of the head pin, but he's got 6 on the fill so far. 1, 2, 4, and 9. Six on the strike fill so far. Connects with a sleeper. Once again, he'll take a 7 fill on the strike. 81 through 9, excuse me. If he can get all 3, he'll tie. And he'll take a 7. That will be game 4 then. For Mr. Abramczyk. After 4 games, that's an 88 for Chase. That's with that 88 in the 4th for Chase Abramczyk. He's at 384 after 4. Marc Poirier 408 after 4. Currently with 6. Chase Abramczyk currently with 2 points. So we're going to go into the 5th and final game, which can be worth a maximum of 6 points because it's the last chance to bid for grand total pinfall, and of course it's worth 2 points for the game of itself. And welcome back. I'm still just clearing the scoreboard here. Give me just an extra second or two to make things homely for the 5th game. That's a 7 drop for Marc Poirier. And Marc Poirier almost makes it a pretty spare. He leaves the 8 down there. Piece of wood clearing out. And he'll make it a 10 box. That's 10 after 1 for Marc Poirier. Again, Marc Poirier's had a heck of a season. 128 and 82 with 15 matches played. This is match 16 for him. He has an away record of 58 and 40, a home record of 70 and 42. Last season, Marc Poirier bowled in the ACST briefly, but then he had to exit for an injury. This is his first complete season in the ACST. Coming off a gnarly surgery on his arm. His throwing arm, no less. 7 drop, 1 3 10. Just a little bit off the pocket. Takes the 3, takes the 10. 9 or 10 for Marc. It's going to be a 9 for 19 after 2. We're having a fantastic time at Boutwell's Bowling Center in Concord, New Hampshire, watching Marc Poirier and Chase Abramczyk battle it out on the lanes on the ACST. 1-2 pocket for Marc. 9, 10, 8 drop, split. That piece of wood, if it can get closer and rest closer, it'll be a pretty good setup, but it's going to be fairly far away. So what do you do? Would you play the pins? Would you play the wood? Let me know in the comments. Marc Poirier chooses the wood, and it almost works. He takes the 9 and leaves the 10. I thought the 10 would have gone rather than the 9. And a nice pin out. 29 after 3 for Marc Poirier. Not a bad idea. At least with the second ball, it could take at least 1 pin, most likely, based on that shot. And then the third ball, he was right on the money. Second ball's a skill shot. Third ball is just for pins. That's how Candlepin bowling works compared to 10 pin. 5 drop for Marc Poirier. That's a 1, 2, 5, 8, 9. And I think he missed his target. He hit the wood on the left. Oops. And he's left with the T-bone, the 1, 5, 8, 9. My apologies for the occasional wrong camera. It's just me not clicking the right button. There's a 7 box for Marc Poirier. That's 36 after 4. 10, 9, 10, 7 for 36 after 4 for Marc Poirier, who's gone 1 for 4 in the head pin with 1 split this game. Overall, he's gone 39% of the head pin with 9 splits, 6.05 first ball average. So his first ball average has been great. It's just the follow-ups for the spares, just what he has to work on. But how about strikes? And how about strikes indeed? That's a way to sit for Marc Poirier. With that strike, he's at 46 and a bonus after 5. Your check-in for Marc Poirier, currently 4.5 games in, 454 plus a fill, 102, 112, 103, and 91, and an in-progress 46 and a bonus for Marc Poirier. As Chase Abramczyk returns to the approaches on lane 20. Here's Chase Abramczyk. On the 1-2 pocket, he wants a piece of that strike pie himself, but he's left with a 9-10 dilemma. And a piece of wood rolling away, very much like Marc Poirier's. But the wood is more angled this time, and there's an extra piece of wood along the 10, instead of being in the channel. Chase is going to go for the wood. Oh, but a little bit off. A little bit into the channel, a little bit out. Nothing was hit, just rearranged the wood. For a 9 or 10, it's going to be an, ooh, or excuse me, 8, 9, or 10, it'll be an 8. Thought he was going to at least take the 9 out of that. He'll be 8 after 1. If you're just joining us, thank you for checking out this Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour match in Class E North between Chase Abramczyk and Marc Poirier. Marc Poirier is the away bowler, Chase Abramczyk is the home bowler, even though they both bowl out of Boutwell's Bowling Center. Confusing, I know. Chase will chase 2. The chase is on for the half Worcester. Oh, and the ball sails into the same hole the first ball created. That's all I have to say about that shot. And Chase, ooh, just barely gets a couple extra pins, and it was scary there, but he'll take a 5 at least. That's 13 after 2 for Chase Abramczyk. That to 19 after 2 for Marc Poirier. Far and away, the most boxes thrown today have been 9 boxes in Marc Poirier's favor. Chase Abramczyk also throwing a lot of 9 boxes, but just not as many as Marc's. So it's a game of 9s today. If it were a 9-pin tournament, they'd be marking it up a lot. Chase Abramczyk gets a backdoor mix of 7, 1, 2, 6. Piece of wood. Maybe in, maybe out. It's still rolling around. I think it's, well, it's still moving. Now it's officially back in. I can tell you that. I think. Unless it rolls out again. I think it's going to settle in the inbounds region. Yeah, I think it's in. Pretty sure it's in, but we'll see what the chatter is talking about that pin. Chase is calling for a check. Just no problem. Chase is calling for the Abramczyk, supplied by Nick Brown. I have a feeling he's going to come right back. Yep, told you. But it's always worth a check. No harm, no foul, and just making sure it's okay to hit. Always appreciate the sportsmanship. And Chase, he'll take 1 and leave 2. After all that waiting. And Chase Abramczyk will pin for a 10. That could have been a spare. I think if that was the second ball, that'll be 23 after 3 versus 29 after 3. Marc Poirier versus Chase Abramczyk. Difference is 6 in this 4th game so far in the 3rd frame. Marc Poirier threw a big strike in the 5th. One, 2, 1, 3 pocket, and it's gone. Chase Abramczyk with a strike of his own. And that was a heck of a ball by Chase. Watch this. It's a beautiful ball by Chase Abramczyk in the 1-3 pocket. For the double, oh my goodness, another half Worcester by Chase Abramczyk. But you know what? You get another ball for this fill. So don't count it out yet. Chase Abramczyk has been quite unlucky with the half Worcesters today. On the outside of the head pin, oh my goodness, and it was a nice ball. I really always like that ball on the outside of the head pin for the half Worcester shot, but it'll take a 5 fill on the strike for 38 after 4, plus 2 to Marc Poirier's 36 after 4 now. To conclude the half, Chase will make it a 6 box. And after 5, Chase Abramczyk is at 44. And Marc Poirier is at 46 plus a fill pending off strike. That is to be completed in the 6th frame in just a couple of moments here. 454 Marc Poirier, 428 Chase Abramczyk here in the 5th and final game, entering quarter 3 of the final game. And this will be the final 5 boxes today for Marc Poirier. And here he goes, working on a strike. And he'll take a few down so far. 3 down to be exact. Off the mark, or off the object. Takes a 6 fill on that strike. 4 horsemen right side, 52 after 5. And he'll make it a 6 box. 58 after 6 for Marc Poirier. They're making fresh popcorn at Boutwell's in the bar, and it smells intoxicatingly good right now. Just going to make a quick aside about that. So, yes, like we were discussing earlier in our lecture about the bar at Boutwell's, do check it out because, my goodness, I could go for some popcorn right now. Holy God. Holy God. It's Marc Poirier in the 7th frame. Crosses over, goes to the right of the head pin. Crosses over a little bit too much. It's a 5 drop. For the follow-up on that 5 drop, it becomes a 9-10 leave. And it'll be a 9 box for Marc Poirier. That's 67 after 7. Marc will mix down a few. 3 to be exact. Oh, and he sails into the same hole. We've seen that a few times from both of our bowlers. Chase with the half Worcesters, and Marc Poirier now seemingly with his first ball. Whatever hole that created on the 4 pocket. And it becomes an 8 box to conclude that discussion. That's 75 after 8 for Marc Poirier. Closing in on a 500 series. And here we go. Marc Poirier with a 6 drop, 1, 7, 10, and 9. Little off the object, goes to the right, leaves the 1, the 7, and the 9 now. Marc Poirier with an 8 box in the 9th for 83 through 9. 1 frame to go for Marc today. 102, 112, 103, 91, and 83 so far. That 83 is in progress, pending this next box. One, 2 pocket, a little bit thin. Drops 5. 4 on the right, 1 on the left. Connects with the triangle in the back, leaves the 3 and the 7. No mark. He'll go under 100 for the game. (3-7) shot. Make it pretty. Just slightly misses the 3 to the right. He'll take an 8 and he'll check out with a 91 in the 5th game. Marc Poirier with a 499 series today. 102, 112, 103, 91, and then another 91. That's the story for Marc Poirier today. 38% on the head pin with 10 splits, 5.88 first ball average. 253 he bowled on lane 19 and 246 he bowled on lane 20, so he liked lane 19 better. Every bowler has a favorite lane. It's Chase Abramczyk who will do the honors of the final 5 boxes in today's match. Here at Boutwell's Bowling Center at the ACST, I'm Steve Hill in the call. It's great to have you today. Hope you enjoyed this match. I hope to see a whole lot more on the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour page on Facebook for even more great matches. Chase Abramczyk will mix down. Well, he won't hit the head pin directly, but he'll get it, so that's a split credit without the head pin. That's a 6 drop. That's the slid 3 pin, the 7, the 9, and the 10. Oh, but he spares that up. That was a pretty one. Chase Abramczyk, 54 and a bonus after 6. What a great shot. Watch this again. He just plowed the wood and bulldozed it all down. Stay tuned after the match concludes. I'll talk you through some final stats as well as put together a highlight reel for you to watch for the greatest moments of today's match. 7 fill for Chase Abramczyk. Well, that's all coming up here upon the conclusion of this match, which will be in a couple of moments. Chase Abramczyk with a 7 fill and his strike, 61 after 6. He could take this game. Oops. Oh, and he spares it up. My camera work aside. That's a spare for Chase Abramczyk. 2 in a row, 71 and a bonus through 7. Let's see, did I switch it fast enough? Again, my apologies. My lefts and rights are not good today. We got like a frame or two of it in. Hooray. 71 through 7 and a bonus for Chase Abramczyk. 1-3 pocket, come on, take the 4. Take the 4. That 4-pin is glued to the ground. You gotta be kidding me. Oh, and he misses it off to the right. So to conclude the 8th, there'll be a 10 for Chase. That's 90 through 8. Two boxes to go. Hope you appreciated this, or hope you enjoyed this match today. I'd like to thank our ACST committee members, including our Commissioner Danny Finn, our Class E Treasurer Maurice Perry, our Statistician Mike Imparato, the staff at Boutwell's Bowling Center in Concord, New Hampshire. Always appreciate them being so accommodating for us. Chase will mix down 8, 1-2. Thank viewers like you for watching. Thanks Steve Avadili, who contributed some video and photographical content. You can check out his work, link in the description. Chase will miss that spare. Again, I want you to check out the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour page on Facebook and YouTube. If you want to see more what I do, check out 3-Ball Spare on Facebook and YouTube. That's a 9 for Chase. That's 99 through 9. He will take the 5th game. And he's closing in on total with a 483, and Marc Poirier is at 499. He needs 16 to tie in the total. And anything more than that to take all 4 points. So 2 to tie, 4 for total. 2 points if you tie, to be more specific. Here's Chase. Spun it counterclockwise, but couldn't quite get the ball to position itself closer to the pocket. Hit to the right, drops 6, 1, 2, 4, 8. One, 2, 4, 8. It's away, and he takes 2 of 4. Won't quite be enough for the total then. And Chase makes it an 8 box. He'll take the 5th game, though, of course, with the 107. And that is ball game. Chase Abramczyk with a 491. And Marc Poirier with a 499, so he'll take 4 points off the total. Chase Abramczyk with a 3 mark 107. Marc Poirier with a 1 mark 91. So let's move on to the final stats here. So today, Marc Poirier will walk away with 10 points, going to 138 and 86. Chase Abramczyk will take 4 points, going to 53 and 101. Marc Poirier with a 499, and Chase Abramczyk with a 491. It was a difference of 8 pins. Grand total pinfall by the end of it. Bowlers trading blows all throughout, but Chase Abramczyk ended up taking 4 points, and Marc Poirier was able to survive and advance and just keep on moving to get 10 points. What's interesting here is both bowlers basically averaged the same on the first ball, 5.88 for both. 19 head pins for Marc Poirier, 20 for Chase, so very close, and same for the splits department. Very, very tight numbers all across the board. They almost look like glitches, but I can guarantee you they're not. If they were bowling head-to-head, Marc Poirier would have won 25 boxes, and Chase Abramczyk would have won 17, with the rest being ties. Chase Abramczyk, he did better on lane 19 than 20, bowling at 251 on lane 19 and a 240 on lane 20, totaling 56 and fills, averaging 5.6 per mark, 3 strikes, 7 spares, 9 tens for Chase Abramczyk. Anyways, I'm going to cut to some graphs here if you want to pause the video to analyze this any further. I know it's a lot of numbers, a lot of crazy stuff, but it's always interesting to kind of analyze how things shift throughout the match and all that. So do feel free to pause the video and take a look at that. Anyways, folks, it's been great broadcasting this match for you today. I hope you enjoyed it. This is the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour, yet another match. If you want to check out more of the work I do, check out 3Ball Spare on Facebook, YouTube, Kick, Twitch, and Reddit. That's where you can find me. But also check out the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour page on Facebook. Matches streamed by a great amount of people. Great diverse cast. Do check it out. And do stand by here if you're hanging out here to the end. I'll get together a highlight reel in just a couple of moments here. Anyways, I've been Steve Kelly signing off for Chase Abramczyk and Marc Poirier. We'll see you at the next one. Have a great one, everybody. Connected to the left of the head pin. He went left, right, left on the first ball. He hooks, and he connects. He takes a 0.4, an away average of 93.8, a home average of 90.5, a high single 130, high series 516. And Chase Abramczyk will diagonal to it in a favorable position. He's thrown a lot of balls towards the center. Chase fires on it, and it's gone. See ya. Out. So the official pin check sponsored by John Cadero. And for the spare, Marc Poirier is all over it for this. It's been 4 in a row in terms of matches. And there's a strike by Marc Poirier. Mix in the back row to take out 6. 1, 2, 6, 10. 2 left, 2 right. And what a spare by Marc. Chase going for the spare. He takes the 1. He takes the 4. He takes the 2. Poirier, head pin, oh yeah. It's 2 slightly slides. He drops 8 so far. And he spares it up, Marc Poirier. Drops 8, 5-6. 8 fill. Poirier, oh yeah, he'll kick right. Call that a strike. Took all my might to back off from that. Chase Abramczyk on the 4 with wood across it. See ya. That's a spare on the single. Oh, and he's all over at that time. May or may not be relevant to the shot. And it was not. Who needs the wood? Nowhere near the head pin, but it didn't seem to matter much. And you know what doesn't matter much? And Chase will spare up that triangle. Really is only going to come down to a mark to catch right back up. Here's the attempt. Here's the mark for Chase Abramczyk. Now it's getting interesting. It's been great. Just the follow-ups for the spares is just what he has to work on. But how about strikes? 1-2-1-3 pocket, and it's gone. Chase Abramczyk with a strike of his own. The 7, the 9, and the 10. Oh, but he spares that up. That was a conclusion of this match, which will be in a couple of moments. Chase Abramczyk with a 7 fill and his strike, 61 after 6. He could take this game. Oops. Oh, and he spares it up.